Hey, my name's Nathan LaValle, and this video is going to be a detour from the type of content I normally make. So if you like this type of content, don't subscribe to this channel. We normally talk about theology and God at a level that teenagers can understand. But I've recently been working on building out my camera kit because I've been doing more work with video. Let me tell you something. I've been trying to figure out which wireless mic solution is right for me. And I did a lot of research, I watched several videos, and I ultimately ended up deciding on this one here. This is the Rode Wireless Pro. And the thing is, I like Rode as a company. I have their NT1 microphone. It's an incredible microphone. Their shotgun microphones are classics. Their podcast microphones are good. A lot of their products are really phenomenal. And these microphones in a lot of ways are phenomenal, but there's one massive gaping flaw with these. And that is that when they broadcast wirelessly, they have a level of noise or a level of distortion sound. It's not exactly distortion because it's not truly clipping, but it has a sound. It has a tinniness, like a distorted tinniness to it. Now, this is something that I think gets largely missed in YouTube reviews because YouTubers are sent these and they want to compare them against a mic like the DJI Mic 2. And so what they'll do is they'll pin both of them to their shirt and they'll press record on these things because both of these are capable of doing internal recording. And so they'll do that, and then they'll take those two audio files in, and then they'll cut back and forth between them. It's hard to record to both of the receivers at the same time. But what you'll see as I show you this is that when these microphones are going over wireless, there is a slight noise degradation that occurs, whereas with the DJI mic, I don't hear that noise degradation. Now, I should just mention, and I'll get back to this at the end, there's a number of reasons I wish that wasn't the case, that this is a better solution. And if you don't mind the noise degradation, then this is probably the kit for you. But I really care about that sort of thing. So I'm going to cut to the Rode mic first, and then we'll look at the DJI mic. Both of these will be wirelessly going into my Sony a7 IV. We'll see how this sounds. All right, here's the Rode Wireless Pro. I'm going to talk into this microphone and give you a constant stream of speech so you can see what it sounds like. By the way, I have tested this on every possible gain setting with different options as far as like headphones plugged directly in to see if it's my camera. I've done it with a field recorder to see if it's the headphones and the camera. I've done it with a lot of things over USB into the computer, lots of things. When wireless is the way that you are getting your audio, there's a problem. Now, I should mention, I did reach out to Rode, and I sent them recordings of this to show how the audio sounds different and worse with this, with the Rode microphone over wireless compared to how it sounds with internal recording. I'm going to go ahead and actually flip on internal recording so that I can swap back and forth between those. All right, I am now internal recording as well, and this is the internal recording audio. So you can hear what that sounds like. I'll cut back and forth between it, and you'll see the text on the screen. I reached out to Rode. I sent them recordings of all the different ways and what the sound difference looks like, and they got back to me. This is what they said. The different recording methods and how it is being connected will result in different sounding recordings. The internal recordings will always use an unfiltered and fixed decibel. The auto gain or decibel levels do not affect the internal recording. After further investigation, it doesn't seem to be distortion, as the signal is not being distorted in any way. However, it does sound like the 3.5 millimeter analog output has more noise floor compared to internal and USB recordings. The difference in sound quality is due to different noise floor between the USB and analog output. We're more than happy to look at your devices. Now, that is just not a satisfactory answer in my regard. The answer is that over wireless, it's just going to sound different, and it's going to sound worse. Like, it sounds a lot worse to my ears. I don't know how it sounds to your ears, flipping back and forth between the internal recording and the wireless sound. Maybe it's just something that I'm really picky about. You might need to put headphones in to hear this. I should also mention, I watch a number of different YouTubers who do disc golf stuff, like Bodanza Disc Golf, who uses these microphones, and the exact same tonal quality I can hear in his recordings with these microphones. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to DJI mic, and I'm going to show you what that sounds like here. All right, this is what the DJI mic sounds like. Just to make things fair, I am going to take it off my shirt, and I will hold it so you can hear what it sounds like to be speaking close as well. Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip back and forth between the internal recording and the camera audio, the wireless audio. Let me get the for windscreen here. That's one thing I don't like, is it is a separate bag with the DJI. I can go ahead and talk about this now. I don't like the fact that things don't fit inside the actual plastic case. I think that is a poor design. Like, I don't want to carry around another bag. That's why I have a camera bag, is so I don't have to do that. Now, these fit in just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And now I can hold it close to my mouth and not get any issues. So this is the sound of the internal recording. How does that sound? How does the internal recording sound? Now, on the flip side, let me switch it over. This is the wireless recording now. How does that sound? To me, to my ears, the wireless recording almost sounds identical to the internal recording. That's much different than the Rode, where there's a big difference between how the wireless sounds and how the internal recording sounds. Now, there's a few other things about the DJI mic that is frustrating and makes this a difficult choice. Even though I am going to go with the better audio quality at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the DJI mic. There's some things that are difficult about it. Number one, the DJI mics do not come with lapel mics. So for $350, you just get the microphone kit with this bag, with the windscreens, with some cables, and with this charging case here. That's the first bad. The next bad about the DJI mic is that it is more difficult to transfer the footage over to your computer and then use it. Rode has some really intuitive software where when you plug your entire charging case in, it will register all three devices. You can firmware update all of them that way, and you can also transfer recordings that way. On top of that, though, you can quickly and easily boost the volume of those recordings to a certain LUF rating, which is a loudness, some sort of a loudness meter of the entire recording hitting an average of a certain amount of loudness, a certain decibel rating. That's really handy. That's a feature that I'm going to miss. It's going to add me 30 seconds or so to pull it into something like RX or Logic and run some effects on it to get it to a volume that I'm pleased with. That's the next thing that's difficult and kind of stinks about the DJI mics that has me a little bit sad. With this, I have to actually plug in these transmitters if I want to transfer the internal recordings off of them and onto my computer. There's a USB-C port, and I can transfer it over that way. Now, the final thing that is upsetting about the way the DJI mic works is that this microphone cannot be used as a USB audio input device. So when I plug this in via USB-C, it only shows up for file transfer. It doesn't actually show as an audio input device. Maybe I just am dumb, or I can't figure this out, or I have a bad cable or something, but I can't figure out how to get this to register, and what I've seen online is that it doesn't register as an audio input device. Now, there's things that are good about this over the Rode. First and foremost is the sound quality. Secondly, the actual receiver is nicer. I like that I can face it towards me and actually view my levels and make sure that everything is working well. For me, the noise reduction is actually really nice in a space like this. So I'll go ahead and flip that on here. Hold on. All right, and I am now doing using the noise reduction of this microphone. In a space like this where there isn't a ton of noise, but there is some background noise, like my fridge is right over there, there's an ice maker, the air conditioning. This is a nice feature for me. I could see myself using this in calm conditions like this if I want to get a really clean recording. I oftentimes will take these mics and record thoughts as I'm driving in the car to post onto my Theology for Teens podcast, and I'm excited to see what the noise reduction sounds like on that. That's really cool. I also like I can set that up to actually be a button trigger as I'm doing an internal recording. So that's really cool as well. That's one thing that I actually think is like an underrated feature. Now it's off. An underrated feature in YouTube reviews is the noise reduction. If it's in a subtle environment, it actually is really handy, and I like that. The final thing that is an advantage to this microphone is their kind of built-in connections, and this is a weird one. So these little devices, they're like ports with some interfacing like nodes, and then USB-C and a Lightning allow you to actually attach those to the receiver, and then you can plug those into an iPhone, or you can plug them into a USB-C compatible device, and you can be utilizing these microphones wirelessly with devices through USB connections. Now, this is nice, and since these microphones sound so good over wireless transmission, that does kind of make up for the fact that I cannot use this USB-C and use this specifically as a microphone input for my computer. I wish I could do that still, because that's a great feature to have. I like that my other Rode products can do that, but this can't do that. So that's my comparison. It's not a super easy choice. Now, I'll just say, if Rode came out and could release a firmware update that made the audio quality of their wireless transmission and receiving sound, close to as good as the internal recording of these things, or close to as good as the DJI mic, this is the clear winner. Those other features that make the DJI mic attractive aren't game changers for me. There are things that are nice, sure, but they're not things that would drive me to purchase this product over the Rode, especially because there's so much value in the lapel mics that they include and the ability to use those, although they're not great lapel mics. They're good lapel mics. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, you can fit these foam windscreens with the Rode case. It closes fully. You can also fit a cable, even a lapel mic in there. So you have a full kit in a small bag. With this one, you cannot fit the foam windscreen. You've probably seen that if you've looked at any reviews online. Let me show you, though, in case you haven't. I don't know if it's going to show. But you get the point, okay? And now I'm not even going to internal record because to my ears, that wireless recording sounds so good. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, and I think it's just something that's getting missed in most YouTube reviews. So hopefully this is helpful. Again, don't subscribe for this type of content of reviewing tech stuff. I'm really not going to do that anymore, but I saw a need for this video to be out there, so here it is. If you want to watch some theology stuff, check out some of my other videos. It's easy to understand, and it's good. So, okay, I'll talk to you later, maybe, probably never see you again. All right, bye.